So, how do you save more money? Today, I'm going to go through my quick list of 18 frugal tips I suggest you consider in order to save more money and get you closer to your financial goals. My name is Anna, and here we talk about money matters. If this interests you, please hit that like button and subscribe. Now, let's get started. The first tip is to buy things based on if you need it rather than because it's on sale. Don't tell yourself how much you saved because it's on sale. At the end of the day, you really just spent money rather than saving. This is one of the bad spending habits we often hear, that a person cannot resist buying something just because it's at a discount. Personally, I rarely go to the mall unless it's to get some exercise, walking around for a change of scenery, especially if it's cold outside. But this way to stretch your legs would not be recommended if the temptation would be just too great to resist pulling out that wallet. When we did a review of our household spending, we realized that so far this year, as we approached the end of April, the total we've spent on clothes for the entire household was $44. My husband could probably live on 5 to 10 t-shirts 3 seasons in the year. The rest of us get hand-me-downs for almost everything. How can you do this? Be friends with stylish people who fit your size as an adult and have kids that are older than yours. Done. But seriously, if you ask around, you'll find that some of your friends prefer sharing their clothes with people that they know before they make it to the donation bin. It saves me the trouble of making those trips to the mall or buying things online and then finding that I have to make that hassle trip for returns. Whereas if you got the things for free, you can try things on guilt-free and then make that seasonal trip to the donation store yourself on the things you pass on. It's a win-win. The next tip is to reduce or eliminate eating out. We pay restaurant prices and then we tip on top of that, as you should if you're out in the US. Tipping isn't common in the Asian countries we go to when we're abroad, though. So when we come back to the States, the tipping culture in the US is always a bit of a shock, especially when we pay in tips in the US what we often pay for the actual meals in South Korea or China. For a family of 4, in a pinch, we like to do quick, easy Korean dishes that often come in different combinations of rice, soy sauce, butter, and adding a protein like eggs or tofu. Not necessarily the healthiest meal, but that fast food that you ordered through Uber Eats probably isn't doing that much better for your body, and especially not for your wallet. $4 or $5 all in for a family of 4, or we'd grab that $5 Costco chicken, supplement that with a box of mac and cheese that you get for $1. And then we'd end the day with a pint of strawberries for dessert for $4 extra. Try getting dinner and dessert for $9, $10 all in on a regular basis at a restaurant. Pretty hard, right? But eating at home? Certainly doable. The next tip is to stop buying drinks. Water is the best drink and practically free, right? I mean this for at home and at restaurants. Just get that tap water. Even at our house, though we do occasionally get juice, soda has been essentially eliminated for our home. If we have a social gathering, sometimes we'll remember to stock the fridge for our guests, but generally soda is just out. Your wallet and your gut will thank you. The next tip is to check out estate sales, garage sales, and community yard sales for the things you need. A lot of these events will post pictures of what they have available, and if held by a church, the funds will usually go directly to support a great cause. Estate sales have been a great way for us to find beautiful furniture pieces like dining sets and bookcases. And community sales have been a great way to find cute clothes at a bargain, some for free and upwards to $10 for designer coats. The next tip is to work from home to save money and time from commuting and on those high daycare costs. You may have seen from my short video above on the astronomical cost of daycare in the US. I never really thought about this as an option until the pandemic really changed everything. I was working from home and daycares in our area were closed. Now, it's just much more common to have kids around when you're working from home. Just make sure you're still doing your work. Next is to turn off the lights in the rooms that you aren't using. Or if you want to go further, like a family member I have, you can go so far as to unplug appliances before you head out the door. And reduce the electricity bill in the colder months rather than turning up the heat, putting on an extra layer of clothes. It takes a lot of electricity to heat up a home. The average cost of heating per household, according to National Energy Directors Association, was estimated to increase 17.2% from the prior year. Is it your birthday? Go around and check the places that will give you something for free on your birthday. Like Denny's, get that free Grand Slam, or that free birthday cake with dinner. Next tip is to use that library. That means both your brick and mortar library, but also their digital resources as well. Like our library gives you free access to Hoopla. Unless I know that I'm going to study from a book and take notes inside, libraries have been just great to go there for a change of pace, but also to share the joy of reading with your family. The next tip is to utilize your employee benefits, and that means those 5 free mental health sessions, the 401k matching, and the free gym at your company's building, and the free food that might be served there, like my former employer did. And remember to shop around for your car insurance, homeowner's insurance, or your renter's insurance. When was the last time you did this? We had for a long time used the same car insurance for several years until the increases were just too large to ignore, and shopping around made a big difference, especially for our car insurance. If you want to stay loyal, letting your current provider know about your competitors' rates can push your current provider's rates lower. Whatever your plan, shop around. And towards the end of and after the end of every holiday, buy things on clearance, especially edibles. I remember stocking up on boxes of holiday themed cereals and cookie dough that would typically run about $5 that I would be able to stock up for $1. Not expired, mind you, just out of season. And those bat themed Reese's Pieces cookies in November tasted just as good as it would have had it been eaten on Halloween. Things like this are ways to still have fun with your kids, if you have any, while being on budget. The next tip, try to do that repair before buying a replacement. Same with hiring someone else to do maintenance work. That's where YouTube can be great. We have this in-ground pool, and since the pandemic, there have been a shortage of pool maintenance staff in our area. So rather than spending that $1,200 a year for opening and closing the pool and extra for that regular cleaning and chemical balancing, after several tutorials on YouTube, we figured out how to do this ourselves. And cut hair at home. I mentioned this in my video here, but we often cut our children's hair, except before picture day. Hair cutting is a skill that I work on with the tips shown again on YouTube. And if you need to buy something, check out Facebook Marketplace. When we needed a new bike, I was surprised at how many people weren't just selling for cheap, but were actually giving them away for free, quality ones too. And have a garden to grow your favorite go-to vegetables, especially those that grow like weeds. For us, it's the sesame leaves, green onions, peppers, zucchini, and sometimes tomatoes and cabbage, though the rabbits seem to get to our cabbage and tomatoes. Periodically, scope out the Dollar Tree for things you need. I have found the best deals on cards, gift bags, and snacks there. When you go to the grocery store, how many of us find that funny card and pay $5, $6 for that card? At the Dollar Tree, you can get 2 greeting cards for $1. That's like a tenth of how much it costs at a drugstore. And sell things that you don't need or want in your house. There was a community event where I paid $25 for a table, and I set up and sold around $75 worth of my son's outgrown clothes within a few hours. It was a fun way to meet people and make some extra cash. And during breaks, I'd walk around and check out what others were selling and snatch a couple great deals along the way. When it was over, the rest went to the donation bin. It was a good day. Hope you enjoyed these tips. If so, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.